The same day repeated for 1,000 years. Madame Su said to Wu Chen while they shook hands, "Mr. Wu, right? He is indeed talented and impressive, as rumored. Miss Li really has good taste." Li Rubing said, "Madame Su is too kind." Madame Su said, "This is not the right place to talk. Shall we move to a different place to have a proper conversation? What do you think?" Li Rubing said, "Sure, I would like that. I also have things I would like to discuss with Madame Su." Suddenly, Madame Su looked at her daughter Su Qingying, who was shocked and tried to hide behind Wu Chen. A few minutes later at Su Family Industry, Jinfu Tea House, Madame Su said, "Miss Li, why were you with my daughter? Don't you think it's impolite to take my daughter away without any notice, even if it was your boyfriend who did it? Don't you think Mr. Wu's behavior is violating the law? Perhaps I should consult my lawyer." Li Rubing said, "Originally, I was the one to meet with Miss Qingying, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, I asked my boyfriend to go meet her instead." Madame Su said, "Oh, but why did I hear that Wu Chen forcibly took my daughter away?" Su Qingying got nervous. Li Rubing explained, "If Su Qingying is already 27 years old, then she wouldn't have been forced to go with him without being able to say no, right? Madame Su, don't you think you should be more curious about the reason for our meeting?" Madame Su said, "I would like to know the details." Li Rubing stood up and said, "Madame Su, Su Qingying is not like a living person anymore. She is just like a carefully crafted puppet, a puppet who cannot even decide how many bowls of rice to eat." Li Rubing grabbed the shoulders of Su Qingying and said, "That's why Qingying envied me and longed to become a woman like me." Madame Su was shocked and said, What did you just say?" Li Rubing said. "Qingying wanted to meet me and hoped that I could help her, but what could I do to help her?" "Madame Su, do you know what this is? This is the medicine I have been taking." "Qingying bought this medicine for me," Madame Su asked. Su Qingying bought the medicine. "What is the big deal about it?" Li Rubing said. "The point is not about the medicine itself, but that the simple act of buying it brought her happiness. She has never bought medicine by herself before. For her, going out alone to buy medicine was something novel and exciting at the age of 27. "Madame Su, don't you think there is something wrong with this?" Su Qingying said to herself and looked down, sweating. "Oh, is that so? Well, let's just assume that's the case then," Wu Chen said to himself while drinking cold tea. "As expected of you, Li Rubing. Full marks for your eloquence and logical reasoning." Li Rubing continued, "Qingying is extremely upset, madam. Don't you understand? Today, when both Wu Chen and I were present, her retaliatory behavior was to go buy the medicine. But what about next time? What will she do when there's no one around her? Aren't you concerned about that, madam?" The whole room fell silent for 3 minutes. Madame Su suddenly said, "So, are you saying that I should thank you, Miss Li?" Li Rubing said, "Qingying is my friend, so there is no need to thank me." Wu Chen said to himself, "Well done, Li Rubing. It's time to wrap this up. I will add fuel to the fire." Wu Chen suddenly said, "Madame Su, Li Rubing and I have been working hard all day. Just like that, we are also sick of it." Li Rubing sweated and said to herself, "Why is he suddenly getting angry? Wait, he is not getting angry. He is trying to speed things up. I understand now. It is time for me to play along and put on a show." Li Rubing said, "What are you doing, dear?" "Qingying is my friend." "Don't say that." Wu Chen raised his voice and said to Li Rubing, "Haven't you had enough yet? You helped Miss Su, fearing that she might do something reckless and worrying that she might get into trouble. But what did you get in return? Did they even appreciate your help?" "Rubing, I feel sorry for you." Li Rubing pressed her chest against Wu Chen and hugged him. She said, "Dear, please don't say that. Calm down." She whispered seductively in his ear, "Do it for me, okay? Qingying is my friend. Let's not argue or get upset, okay? Be good." Su Qingying got jealous and said to herself, "If I didn't know this was acting, I would have fallen for it." Madame Su said to herself, "Maybe I should really thank her." She said, "Miss Li, I understand your good intentions completely." She looked at Su Qingying and said, "Qingying, as a mother, I didn't mean to harm you. From now on, I will consider allowing you to do some things on your own." It's fortunate for Qingying to be able to make friends with Miss Li. Li Rubing said, "Su Qingying is very excellent. Everyone likes her." Madame Su suddenly stood up and said, "It's getting late, Miss Li Rubing. I won't disturb you anymore. Su Qingying, it was all because your mother was strict on you before. Don't put too much pressure on yourself." She walked out and said, You can stay and play with Li Rubing today. Come to the company tomorrow morning. Mom will go back first. She closed the door. Wu Chen, Li Rubing, and Su Qingying breathed easily. Wu Chen said, "Mission accomplished. The first stage of the plan ends here." Li Rubing looked outside and said, "Su Qingying, your mother has gone." She didn't leave any bodyguards or insiders behind either. Suddenly, Su Qingying excitedly hugged Wu Chen and said, "Husband, were you really angry just now? You looked really fierce." Wu Chen said, "Are you a fool? It's just acting." Li Rubing said, "Can you two stop it for now?" Wu Chen took out his phone and said, "Right, it's time for business now. Who should I call first?" Li Rubing suddenly grabbed his arm and said, "What are you doing, Wu Chen? Don't mess around." Wu Chen said, "Did I say I was going to cause trouble, though?" Li Rubing replied, "Can you stop playing around? Everything is fine now. Madame Su is unlikely to pursue anything against you anymore. You can continue meeting with Miss Su in the future. What more do you want?" Wu Chen said, "Qingying, do you want to continue meeting each other secretly in the future? It feels like we're having an affair. Do you like it that way?" "But I don't like it." "If you follow me, I have the obligations and the means to not let you be in a difficult position. I don't want you to be forced to choose between love and family." Su Qingying said, "Husband?" Li Rubing looked at them silently. Wu Chen held her shoulder and said, "Come, Qingying. You listen to me. Right now, I am going to make a call. In a moment, I will contact other people as well. I want you to take over the power of the Su family and become the CEO of Jin Fu in the shortest time possible. Then you will have the final say not only in the company but also at home. This will also prevent your mother from controlling you any further, and she will understand that she can no longer control a powerful person like you at that time. As for your father, he will be even more proud and pleased with you. So, Qingying, answer me. Are you willing?" Su Qingying said, "This." Wu Chen asked, "Su Qingying?" Su Qingying made a firm fist and tightened her thighs with resolve and said, "I am willing." Wu Chen took out his phone and said, "Good, then I will start now." Su Qingying said to herself while looking at Wu Chen and Li Rubing together, "Miss Li and husband are so close to each other. No, I also want to." She suddenly sat beside Wu Chen. Wu Chen said to himself, "These two women." Wu Chen asked Su Qingying, "Aren't you tired? You want to listen, right? I can put it on speakerphone." A person said, "Hello, who is this?" Wu Chen said, "Have you had any nightmares recently? Did you dream about the Nanhe warehouse? Bai Kaifeng asked me to ask you. He heard that you've made quite a bit of money in recent years. Is that true?" He replied, The hell you?" Wu Chen said, 1 hour later, at Qingwan Tea House's private room. "Appreciate it, friend." Li Rubing asked, "Can you really take over the Su family with just those 2 sentences you said earlier?" Wu Chen said, "You didn't get it? Let me give you a hint. It's internal disintegration. Let's go." Li Rubing said, "Wu Chen, perhaps you should reconsider it a little bit more." Wu Chen said, "Do you want to make a bet again?" "No, let's just go." 1 hour later, Wu Chen said, "You two stay here and have tea. I'll go over there first." He opened the door. Inside he said, "Very punctual, huh?" The guy suddenly stood up and closed the door. It was Yao Honglin, director and shareholder of Jinfu Group, holding 3.8% of the shares. He said, "Was it you who spoke on the phone with me earlier?" Wu Chen sat down and took a cup of rainwater and said, "It is me." Yao Honglin said, "Where is Bai Kaifeng? How much did he give you? What do you want to do?" "You brat, don't think that just because you know a little bit about my affairs, you can threaten me. If you're smart, tell me where Bai Kaifeng is, and I'll give you a sum of money that you'll never be able to spend in your lifetime." Wu Chen smelled the rainwater and said, "We can talk about the money later. You are someone who kills and sets fires. I have to say you are really bold and daring." Yao Honglin said, "Young man, you can eat your food messily, but don't make unfounded accusations," Wu Chen said. "Is that so? Then what about the money buried in the barren hill? With technology advancing all the time, cases that were previously unsolvable can now be solved easily. Don't you think so?" Yao Honglin said, "Aren't you here to extort money? I'll give 155 million. Do we have a deal?" Wu Chen replied, "Don't be impatient. I heard that the boss's business has been bad lately, and he has to rely on falsifying accounts to cover the losses. What was the name of your little mistress who helped you with that?" Yao Honglin said, "Enough. 2 billion? No, 3 billion, split in installments, 3 billion. If you ask for more, you won't get it. Suddenly, Su Qingying entered and shouted, Mr. Yao. Yao Honglin looked at Su Qingying and was shocked. Huh? Miss Su? Boss Li? Wu Chen said. Why did you come over so quickly? Yao Honglin asked. Did they all hear that? Su Qingying said. Did Mr. Yao really kill people and set fires? Yao Honglin stammered. Ah, Tat. Wu Chen poured a cup of green water and said, Qingying, let's not talk about the past for now. Mr. Yao, I'll be straightforward. I don't need your money. Yao Honglin thought to himself, damn it. If you don't want money, then do you want to take my life? Aloud, he said, thank you. Wu Chen said, from now on, all I need is for you to support whatever Miss Su says in the board meetings. Do you understand? Yao Honglin asked. Is it that simple? Wu Chen said, yes, it's just that simple. Yao Honglin said, Miss Su, I thought someone was going to kill me. It really scared me a bit. Ha 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 ha. Just tell me directly if it's a small matter like this. How could I not comply with your words? Is it necessary to trouble Boss Li and this gentleman? He thought to himself while drinking the toilet water. Su Qingying is the only successor of the Su family. No matter what happens to the Su family, she will eventually become the chairman of the group. If they want to use me, they won't sell me out. Not only will the crisis be resolved, but it will also make a big profit. This is all thanks to Long's contribution. Yao Honglin put down the cup of toilet water and said, Mr. Wu, rest assured, from now on, Miss Su's affairs will be my affairs. In the company, I will always look up to Miss Su as my leader. Wu Chen said, a gentleman's word is as good as his bond. You can leave now. Yao Honglin waved goodbye and said, all right, you all can continue with your work. I'll head back first. Li Rubing said, is that it? Even if he supports Miss Su, what is the use of getting one vote from a single director? There are more than a dozen directors on the Jinfu Board of Directors. Not everyone will succumb to your threats. Wu Chen said, are you trying to get me to say something? Li Rubing said, I am not joking with you. What you just did was blackmailing. It's very serious if things go wrong. And there are over 10 directors in Jinfu Group. Can you rely solely on blackmailing to deal with them? Wu Chen said, we don't need to deal with all of them, just some of them will be enough. Su Qingying said, husband, how many more people do we still have to threaten? Wu Chen said, 6 people. We just finished talking to 1, so there are 5 left. You can continue drinking tea while you wait for me. Su Qingying said, husband, don't tire yourself out. Wu Chen talked to the CMO of Jinfu Group, Wan Wenchang. Next, he talked to the Chief Financial Officer, CFO, Chen Lei. Then he talked to Jinfu Group's legal supervisor, Pei Chang'e. Lastly, he talked to the institutional shareholder and independent director, Sun Hamin. A few hours later, Wu Chen told Li Rubing and Su Qingying, please take care. Li Rubing said, even if you manage to win over 6 directors, you still haven't reached 2/3 of the seats on the board. You haven't even reached half, so how can you control the whole board of directors? Wu Chen said, some things are complicated to explain. Let's wait for the results tomorrow. Su Qingying said, whatever my husband says is correct. I will listen to you. Wu Chen said, by the way, there are some things that I need to explain to Qingying. Rubing, would it be okay for us to stay at your place tonight? Suddenly, Li Rubing took Wu Chen's arm and said, not okay, Wu Chen asked. Then what did you bring me here for? Li Rubing said, let's go. In the house, Li Rubing said to Su Qingying, Qingying, you go take a shower first. Wu Chen asked, what's the purpose of sending Qingying away? Li Rubing grabbed Wu Chen and went to the balcony. Stop talking. She suddenly hugged Wu Chen and said, kiss me. Wu Chen thought to himself while kissing Li Rubing, is this Li Rubing's first time? It can't be. Su Qingying just went to take a shower and will come out soon. No matter what Li Rubing is thinking, she would never pick this moment. If I'm right, she's acting. Wu Chen looked into the distance and thought, she's looking for paparazzi. As expected, suddenly Wu Chen grabbed her thick thighs and Li Rubing was shocked. Wu Chen thought to himself, in that case, I'll play along. I hope that Ding Rulong will be satisfied. Outside, the paparazzi took more pictures of them on the balcony. 2 minutes later, Wu Chen said to Li Rubing, the paparazzi down there should already be gone. Li Rubing replied, so you knew. No wonder you were so relaxed. Well, it's getting late, so let's rest early. Meanwhile, at the Rulong Company head office in South Guang City, Ding Rulong's shout echoed through the building. Freak you. On the balcony, Li Ruobing is still freaking. It was Ding Rulong looking at the moving picture. He shouted, Wu Chen, kill! I must kill that bastard! He suddenly called for Jiang Xuan. Jiang Xuan said, Young master, you call for me? Jiang Xuan was one of Ding Rulong's most trusted subordinates, an ex-special forces member. Ding Rulong said, Go to East China, find this guy Wu Chen, and I want you to kill him. The worse, the better. Jiang Xuan took the resume of Wu Chen and said, East China Sea is Li Tairuo's territory. I'll need 5 days' time. Ding Rulong said, I can't frickin' wait that long. 3 days. I must hear that Wu Chen is dead by then. Jiang Xuan said, Understood. The next day, Wu Chen said, Qingying, wake up. Su Qingying woke up, stretched her arms and said, But dear, I still haven't had enough sleep. Wu Chen said, Just wait until you get off work to get more sleep. Do you still remember what I taught you yesterday? Su Qingying said, Of course. She thought to herself, Today's success or failure will decide my life's fate. Suddenly, Li Ruobing arrived and said, Qingying, let's go. I'll bring you to the company. A few minutes later outside, the secretary said, President Su, this is the proposal from last time. Please have a look. Her assistant said, President Su, regarding the plan to boost our brand's value. Su Qingying said, We will discuss this at the meeting. First, go to the conference room for the meeting. See you next time, Miss Ruobing. Let's go. At 10 o'clock in the morning, during the Jinfu Company executive meeting in the conference room, Madame Su shouted, What did you say? Qingying, say that again. It's against you. Su Qingying said, Fire Zhou Da and Yang Kuo. If they disagree, call the board of directors. Madame Su said, What? You even want to call the board of directors? The others thought to themselves while watching Madame Su shout and Su Qingying, What's happening? What is with this mother and daughter? Su Qingying said, I am the executive vice president of the company and I'm a member of the board of directors. I have the right to call a meeting with the board of directors. Oh, right, I'm the executive vice president. There is no need for a resolution from the board of directors to lay off the security department and the deputy director. Then it's decided, notify the human resources department once the meeting is over. Madame Su slammed the table and said, What did they do wrong? Are they getting fired for no reason at all? It's the company's fault that this incident caused labor arbitration, and the news will have a huge impact on the company's reputation. Can you afford these consequences? Su Qingying remembered what Wu Chen said. When that happens, the focus will be on your company's Zhou Da and Yang Kuo, because they, Su Qingying said, I have a reason to fire them. 5 years ago, in the morning there was a major robbery at the company's store on East China's Commercial Street. It was the largest store of the company in the country, with the best decoration and surveillance systems, as well as the highest security level, the highest. She took the remote and opened the projector. And such a store was robbed. The outside world has questioned our security capabilities, questioning the ability of the company's decision-making, and caused the stock prices to drop for a few days. So far, the company's value is at 40 billion. According to common sense, Zhou Da, the director of the security department, needs to take responsibility, right? But to me, it doesn't matter whether he is responsible or not. We must let the outside world understand our company's determination to reform on security issues. That's why, only by firing Zhou Da, the director of the security department, can we pull back the stock prices. The other members thought to themselves, President Su is completely different from before. Madame Su said, Very well, you can fire Zhou Da, but what about Yang Kuo? Are you also going to make him take the blame for the company? Su Qingying said, Yang Kuo doesn't even work for the company anymore. Why should he take the blame? Madame Su said, What are you saying? Su Qingying said, Yang Kuo is only working for the company in name, but he's just your personal bodyguard. Am I wrong? Madame Su thought to herself, I understand. It doesn't matter who is controlling who, and the reason is not important. Su Qingying is looking for a reason to rebel, that is all. She shouted, Call the board of directors. Immediately notify the company board of directors a meeting will be held at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On the other side, at Symphony Fashion Company, Li Ruobing said to Wu Chen, Why did you come? The Su family is probably going to be turned upside down. Are you not going to do anything? Wu Chen said, I've already said, we'll see how Qingying does. For now, I just want to draw. Li Ruobing said, Draw? What are you drawing? Wu Chen said, I'm drawing you. He thought to himself, the photos they took yesterday. Ding Rulong should almost be done with his investigation on me. He's getting ready to make a move, right? It's also time for me to do something. Li Rulbing asked, "What are you doing?" Wu Chen said, "Nothing. I just want to draw a sketch for you." Li Rulbing replied, "I'm busy with work and don't have time. I can't be a model for you." Wu Chen reassured her, "You do your thing. I'll do mine. You can do whatever you like, just pretend I'm not here." Wu Chen, while looking at his phone, thought to himself, this is a new group that mainly focuses on sketches. There's someone in the group who needs to draw to complete their tasks, and there's also someone with a close relationship with Ding Ruilong. A smiling face said, "It's brilliant. The skills definitely improved." A moon said, "Teacher Xingchen is very strict." The trees said, "Are you new to the group? What teacher are you talking about?" "I've never heard of them. Do you have any great work? If not, don't act as if you're superior here." Wu Chen took a picture of his drawing of Li Ruobing and said, "Drawing casually, working on a piece at the moment." 40 minutes later, the cloud said, "Frick, what the frick?" An elder said, "Whose child is this?" "Please, don't use foul language." A Japanese blurry picture said, "It looks so awesome." Another Japanese blurry picture said, "Kneeling for the master." Anonymous said, "Who is the woman in this? She seems really talented." Another said, "Xingchen, where does your friend work?" "I am with the Art Association." Wu Chen thought to himself while reading the messages, the atmosphere has been set up like this. Why haven't you come yet? A painting said, "Hello, Teacher Xingchen. I have a daughter who is in junior high school and has been studying art for 3 years. I hope that you can give her some guidance." Wu Chen thought to himself, "Finally, you've taken the bait. Stand by a pond longing for fish." She is Ding Ruilong's senior high school sister and holds the most special position among all Ding Ruilong's women. The reason her position is special is because they had an illegitimate daughter together. She is now 14 years old. Wu Chen took out his phone and sent a message. She said, "You're being too modest. Can I trouble you to evaluate my daughter's artwork?" Wu Chen replied, "She draws quite well, much better than the children in the group who just joined." "It can be considered talent," she said. "Getting affirmation from a top expert is indeed reassuring. My persistence has paid off. My child truly has talent." She sent another message. "Teacher Xingchen, it's great to hear you say that. By the way, what do you do for a living now? Are you in Shanghai?" Wu Chen thought to himself, "It's easier than I thought." He sent a message saying, "Why ask?" She replied, "You are more skilled than the teachers I've met before. I would like to invite you to be my daughter's tutor. If you come, accommodation won't be a problem." "How about I pay you 2,000 yuan for each tutoring session?" He replied, "You're too polite. Indeed, your child has great talent. As for your proposal," she said, "Teacher, do you have any concerns? Anything is easy to talk about, and everything is easy to discuss. Please don't refuse, okay?" Wu Chen said, "Well, since we have had this fortunate encounter, let's discuss the details later." She said, Okay. Teacher, feel free to contact me when you're free." "I'll be waiting for your message over the next 24 hours. Wu Chen thought to himself, the plan is going very smoothly. Next is time to make her mine. By then, she will come to Donghai and be completely under my control. After all, she is an important key to the black material that could incriminate Ding Ruilong. A few moments later, Wu Chen said to Li Ruobing, "You continue doing your thing. I also have something I need to do. I'll leave first." Wu Chen left and thought to himself, stand by a pond longing for fish and her daughter are just a part of the plan. There's more to come. He took out his phone and the person on the other end said, "Hello, who are you looking for?" Wu Chen said, "Of course I am looking for you, a double agent. How do you think you will die if Ding Ruilong finds out about your mission?" He replied, "You are talking nonsense." "Who are you? I have no idea who you are talking about at all," Wu Chen said, not admitting. "Then should I go find Li Tairua now? How about that?" He replied, Dot, my friend. Let's talk things out." Wu Chen said, "Then do as I said. We'll meet around 3 p.m. this afternoon. I'll send you the address later." He replied, "Oh, okay," Wu Chen said. "That's more like it." At Jinfu Group, 3:00 p.m., in the conference room, Madam Su said, "Almost everyone is here. Close the door. Let's begin the board of directors meeting." Su Qingying said, "Most of you have probably heard about the specific agenda for this emergency board meeting. Originally, it was just a small matter. Since we have convened this board meeting, everyone is free to voice their opinion. I hope those who oppose me can provide logical reasons for their disagreement rather than opposing just for the sake of opposition." The other members were shocked, and Wu Chen thought to himself, What a strong warning. Fortunately, I knew the situation in advance. Otherwise, it would have been difficult to adapt to someone like Miss Sue all of a sudden. Madame Sue clapped and said, "Not bad, not bad. Qingying, you really impressed your mother today." However, regarding today's matter, I said it's not feasible. It's just not feasible. Joda has been with the company for over 10 years, working his way up from factory security manager to main office supervisor. He has always performed his duties with diligence and professionalism, never making any mistakes. If we let him go just like this, wouldn't it chill the hearts of other veteran employees? "Don't you think my point is reasonable?" a board member said. "Makes sense." His colleague added, "Yeah, I also think so." Madame Sue thought to herself, Qingying didn't refute anything, and the tide of the board of directors has turned to my side again. "Great, let's continue." Madame Sue continued, "In the morning, you said to let Joda resign on his own and compensate him privately. He has the right to refuse. If we forcefully dismiss him, it might lead to arbitration and media attention from our competitors. As a result, it might also cause fluctuations in the stock price." A heavyset board member said, "I agree with Madame's opinion. There is indeed such a risk." A bespectacled board member pretended to be knowledgeable and said, "I also think so." Both thought to themselves, as expected of Madame Sue. Su Qingying said, "It's like arguing about the husband is always right and the wife is always right. So there's no point in arguing because we won't get any substantial opinions. Let's vote directly. Now, those who support my proposal, raise your hands." Madame Sue said, "I dare you to try it." Madame Sue thought to herself, "It's such a miracle that someone dared to raise their hand." A few seconds later she added, "Wait, there's still more? Impossible. Apart from Yao Honglin, even Pei Changhe, Sun Haomin, Wan Wenchang, and Song Wanming, and even Chen Lei." Madame Sue said, "I don't care about the others for now. But Chen Lei, you joined the company as a finance clerk after graduation from university, and it was I who promoted you step by step to your current position. I need an explanation from you," Su Qingying said. "Mom, please don't influence the vote. Let's continue." The others got stressed out. Su Qingying remembered what Wu Chen told her in bed. Not everyone needs to speak up actively. Some fence-sitters only need to see your attitude and display of power and firmness, and they will naturally follow the trend to support you. Su Qingying thought to herself, "It seems that I need to be even more forceful." She then asked, "Who else supports me?" An old man coughed. It was Tang Deyang, the elder of the group and Su Ruwen's most trusted and closest brother. He raised his hand. Madame Sue said, "Brother Diang Yu." He said, "Sister-in-law, Qingying has grown up. You can see how she has become." Madame Sue shouted, "Nonsense." She slammed the table and stood up, continuing, You only have 9 votes, not yet a majority. I want to see who else dares to make trouble with old SU and me." The board resolution requires a 2/3 majority vote for major issues, while a simple majority vote is sufficient for ordinary resolutions. Today's resolution is a minor issue, so even if it's more than half, Su Qingying still needs 1 more vote. Suddenly, Su Qingying slammed the table. Everyone looked at her in shock and nervousness. Su Qingying remembered what Wu Chen told her. The key is not about controlling the board of directors, but about making your mother give up. The next step is the final blow, whether we can achieve a decisive victory. She thought to herself, "It's now." She said, "Mom, are you sure you want to do this?" Madame Sue said, "I am doing it this way." "What am I afraid of? I am your mother. Can't I still control you?" Su Qingying said, "You may not vote in favor of me, as you are the chairman's wife. So they all listen to you. But is this for my own interests, the Su family's best interest, or the company's best interest? I hope you can think it through clearly about what exactly you are doing today. How long do you want us to become a laughingstock in front of others as a family?" Madame Sue thought to herself, "If we don't let Qingying pass, if Qingying's proposal is not approved, there will be a huge and irreconcilable conflict within the Su family from now on, and the board of directors will split directly into 2 factions. It will result in internal strife in the corporation and poor business performance. Stocks will also fall. With no hope for Qingying to succeed in the company, and with internal strife within the company, it will ultimately go bankrupt and collapse." She silently thought and stood up, walking away, telling herself, "What has happened to us as a family?" She went outside and continued to say, "Never mind." Su Qingying said, "Who else supports it? And who opposes it?" The members raised their hands, and Su Qingying said, It seems we all agree, then it's approved. Meeting adjourned. From this moment on, both the Su family and Jinfu group have changed completely. In another scene, Wu Chen talked on the phone and Boss Lu said, "Brother, do you have time? Do you want to have lunch together?" Wu Chen said, "Is there something going on with Boss Lu?" Boss Lu said, "Brother, you really like to get straight to the point. I do indeed have some matters I need your help with over here." Wu Chen thought to himself, it's still too early for the scheduled meeting with the double agent. He said, "Okay, I'll come over right now." A few hours later, at Yuefu residence in the western part of the city, Boss Lu greeted him. "Brother, you finally arrived. You have no idea. Take a look at my head." Wu Chen asked, "How did your first love turn out?" Boss Lu replied, "I'm not even joking. She threw a teacup at me and kicked me out. Brother, do you have any way to make her and her mother accept me?" Wu Chen said, "Boss Lu, don't rush. This kind of thing can only be resolved gradually. Everything will be fine. Please take a seat for now." Boss Lu said, "Brother, you also know my situation. That's my son. My own flesh and blood. I can't wait any longer." Wu Chen, while pouring toilet water in a cup, asked, "So tell me, what did you do?" Boss Lu said, "I went to find her. I bought a bouquet, a diamond ring, and a necklace. I even got a Ferrari for my son." Wu Chen said, "Boss Lu, you're giving her the impression of using money to win someone over. She managed to overcome those almost impossible situations back then, and now it's not possible for her to return to you just because of money. The things you're doing are seen as insults and disgust in her eyes." Boss Lu remembered what she had said. "Lu Guangyin, if you dare to come knocking on our door again, we will move out. We even go abroad, so that you won't be able to mess with us anymore." Boss Lu asked, "So that's how it is?" "No wonder. Then brother, do you have any solution?" Wu Chen replied, "Of course I do. There are two options. First, start with your son. It will take some time, but for the sake of the child, Ma Huafang will gradually forgive you for sure. Second, it can be resolved quickly, even today. Which one do you want to choose?" Boss Lu said, "The second one. I choose the second one." "Brother, what do you suggest I should do?" Wu Chen said, "This method is fast, but..." Boss Lu interrupted. "Brother, don't worry about that. Transferring money is not a problem. I can transfer it now, come." Wu Chen said, "Brother Lu, not everything is about money. The method is not complicated, it's just, Brother Lu, you'll have to endure some hardship." Boss Lu said, "I'm not afraid of enduring hardship. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it." Wu Chen began to whisper to Boss Lu and said, "Brother Lu, if you can be ruthless and set your pride aside, then we can do like this." A few hours later, in the monitoring room in Zhuowang Garden Residential Area, Jingjiang Road, Nancheng District. Wu Chen, while watching, thought to himself, "Brother Lu, it's up to you from here on." Boss Lu, out of breath, said, Xiaofang, are you home?" "Xiaofang," a neighbor shouted, "She's not home, she's dead, and don't come here again." Boss Lu said, "Xiaofang, please, open the door first." Ma Huifang suddenly opened the door and shouted, "What are you still doing here? How long are you going to keep this up? Get out of here." It was Lu Guangyan's first love, Ma Huifang. Boss Lu said, No, I brought you food. Tianjin-style jambing. Do you remember that when we didn't have money? We used to eat this all the time?" Ma Huifang slapped the food out of Boss Lu's hands and shouted, "I don't want your things, get lost." Boss Lu tried to pick up the food. Suddenly, Lu Guangnian's son, Ma Jiawei, taking his mother's surname, showed up and said, "Why are you still picking things up? Can you please leave here quickly?" Ma Huifang said, "It's none of your business. Did I ask you to come out? Go back inside." Boss Lu said, "Xiaofang, please don't get angry in front of the child." The two of them continued to struggle like this for half an hour. Suddenly, security arrived. "We've been watching for half an hour on the surveillance cameras," one guard said. "Do you know that you disturbed the neighbors? There have been complaints already." Boss Lu admitted, "It was me. It was my problem." The security guard said to Ma Huifang, "If your family wants to argue, do it at home and don't disturb the neighbors." Ma Huifang snapped, "Who said we are related to him? I don't know him. He came to harass us, and you happened to arrive just in time. Please quickly drive him away." The security guard then grabbed Boss Lu and said, "Did you hear that? They said they don't know you, so stop causing trouble." "Let's go." Boss Lu resisted. "I'm not leaving. I'm talking to my wife. You all let me go." The security guard said, "Why are you still yelling at people like that?" Boss Lu shouted, "So what if I want to yell at you? Get lost. Do you think it's any of your damn business to meddle when an old couple is arguing?" The security guard replied, This old guy not only insults people but also physically attacks them. Another security guard kicked Boss Lu and said, "It's him who attacks first. Let's teach him a lesson." They both kicked Boss Lu while he was down and he shouted, "If you have the guts, go ahead and kill me. I won't leave even if I die. Without my wife and child, life has no meaning for me anyway." In the surveillance room, Wu Chen watched while the security guards said, "Stop pretending to be so freaking sentimental." Wu Chen said to himself, "Brother Lu, your performance is quite detailed. If I didn't guess wrong, it should be happening soon." Suddenly, Ma Jiawei shouted to the security guards, "Don't hit my dad," and Ma Huifang screamed, "Don't hit anymore." The security continued to punch Boss Lu. Ma Jiawei yelled, "Damn it, you dare to hit my dad. Today I'm going to." Ma Huifang shouted, "Enough! All of you stop hitting, stop." She walked towards Boss Lu and said, "Get up." Boss Lu held Ma Huifang's hands and said, "Xiao Fang." The security guard said to Wu Chen, "Phew, I almost got beaten up by the little boss." Wu Chen said, "Everyone acted very realistically. Well done. Now let's wrap it up." He thought to himself, the outcome was exactly as I had anticipated. The security took out his phone and said, "If the Liu couple has another argument, please remember to reach out to us. Since we have the experience now, we can make the next performance even more realistic." Wu Chen thought, "I don't need to continue being involved in the matters that follow. Brother Lu will handle it on his own. It's time to go and take care of the real business now." In another scene, Wu Chen drove his Ferrari. A person said on the phone, "It's already 3:30, where are you? Don't tell me you're playing tricks on me." Wu Chen replied, "So what? What do you want to do?" The person on the line said, "My friend, I don't want to argue with you. When will you come? Just let me know." And Wu Chen said, "I will arrive within 15 minutes. At the Shootout Cafe in Dongcheng District." Wu Chen said, "Sorry to keep you waiting." The person slammed the table. It was Double Agent Meng Junhao, owner of Jiangnan Dragon Shield Security Group, member of the Jiangnan Security Association Council, and representative of the People's Congress in Donghai City. Meng Junhao said, "Was it you who talked with me on the phone?" Wu Chen replied, "Yes, it was me." "What is this about? Are you planning to have your subordinates listen to me speak about your unsavory matters and then go out to promote them on your behalf?" Meng Junhao asked. "Who the frick are you anyway?" Wu Chen said, "I really dislike it when someone uses foul language towards me. It seems like you're not interested in having a civilized conversation with me today." He took out his phone and said, "Forget it then, I'll bid you farewell." On speakerphone, Li Ruotai said, "Hey, what a coincidence, fourth brother-in-law. I was just thinking of calling you." Meng Junhao was shocked and thought to himself, "It's the voice of Li Ruotai. This guy is Li Ruotai's brother-in-law. The age and appearance matched just like the rumors circulating in Donghai these days. He is indeed Wu Chen." Li Ruotai said, "What's wrong, brother-in-law? Do you have something that needs my help?" Wu Chen said, "There is a traitor by your side. I think you need to deal with them." Li Ruotai said, "Who the hell is it, brother-in-law? Tell me, damn it, I'm going to crush them right now." Meng Junhao heard the sound of Li Ruotai's firearm chambering and started to sweat and fell to the ground. Wu Chen said, "Employee ID C-0812, the person under your command." Li Ruotai said, "All right, damn it, I'll hang up first, brother-in-law. I'm going to deal with it first and then we'll talk." Wu Chen said, "Now, can we talk properly?" Meng Junhao, on his knees, said, "Yes, yes, yes." "Mr. Wu, you are indeed my brother." "No, you are my uncle. Let's go upstairs and talk. We'll discuss it however you want." A few moments later, Meng Junhao took out the steaming hot tea and said, "Sir Wu, please drink some tea," while he put his phone on speakerphone. Boss Lu said, "Brother, where are you?" Wu Chen said, "Brother Lu, didn't you just make up with your sister-in-law?" "I have something going on here." Boss Lu replied, "If you have something going on, then it's my concern too. Tell me the address. I'll come over immediately." Wu Chen thought, "Just in time, I indeed need to borrow Lu Guangyan's influence right now. It will make things easier this way." Wu Chen said, "Sure, Brother Lu. Donghai City, Shootout Cafe, second floor." Meng Junhao asked, "Sir Wu, is there still another guest coming?" Wu Chen said, "Just a friend. Don't just stand there, please have a seat." Meng Junhao said, No, it's okay, Sir Wu. If you have any instructions or anything to say, please go ahead." Wu Chen said, "Mr. Meng, you are really interesting. You became Ding Rulong's person 4 years ago, constantly placing his trusted confidants as security guards in the companies and residential areas of Li Ruobing and Li Ruotai. But 6 months ago, the truth was exposed in Li Rotai's and you narrowly escaped from the barrel of his gun. And then, you immediately turned around and sold yourself to Ding. Meng Junhao said, Sir Wu, please stop talking about it. Just give me your direct instructions. Regardless of whether they are feasible or not, I will make sure to carry them out for you. Wu Chen said, I reckon. Ding Rulong will soon send someone to target me. Meng Junhao said, Sir Wu, collecting information about you and dealing with you is not under my responsibility. Wu Chen said, I know, you are only responsible for investigating my activities. Listen carefully. Either Ding Rulong or his trusted confidant will soon contact you. If you want to survive, do whatever they arrange for you to do. Do you understand? Meng Junhao asked. Should I inform you in advance? So we can stage a performance or something? Wu Chen replied, No need, just do your own thing. And there is no need to inform Li Ruotai. This is the only way for you to survive. Wu Chen thought to himself, I don't have to do anything? Then why did you approach me, knowing that something is going to happen to you in the next few days, and yet you're not taking any action? Are you just waiting to die? Wu Chen continued, You don't need to understand. The people in Donghai, including you, Feng Yang, Wang Xuping, Xu Jun, Chao Feng, you're all insignificant and pose no threat to me. The reason I came to find you is because you're slightly more interesting than them. So, I just need you to help me deliver something to Ding Rulong, but not right now. Boss Lu suddenly arrived and said, Brother, I'm here. Wu Chen greeted. Brother Lu, Boss Lu asked. Mr. Meng, did you bring about 20 or 30 people downstairs? What's the matter? Are you looking to cause trouble for my brother? Meng Junhao responded, Mr. Lu, I didn't bring anyone with me. It's a misunderstanding. Wu Chen said, It's no big deal, Brother Lu. You're jumping to conclusions very fast. We're all friends here. Meng Junhao added, Yes, you're right. We're friends, Mr. Lu. You've misunderstood us. I just had a little misunderstanding with Sir Wu, but we've sorted it out already, really. Boss Lu insisted, It's settled then. Brother, don't be polite with me. Your matters are my matters. In Donghai, anyone who dares to harm a single hair on your head, I'll definitely tear them apart. Wu Chen thought to himself, That's it. The matters here are settled. Once the influence of Lu Guangyan was borrowed, it will indeed lead to a significant transformation. Meng Junhao is the person who is now experiencing it. His perception of me will change into that of even without Li Ruobing and Li Ruotai. I, Wu Chen, still have my own powerful connections. He will perceive me as someone similar to Ding and Li, a powerful figure with a terrifying background and influential network. His initiative will shift from being driven by fear to being driven by a proactive mindset and striving to do better. Suddenly, Wu Chen's phone rang and Mu Changxian said, Sob sob. Wu Chen. I sob sob. Wu Chen asked, What happened? You're in front of my house right now? Wu Chen said to Boss Lu and Meng, I've got something to deal with. I will be going back first. Brother Lu, Mr. Meng, I will see you next time. Boss Lu said, Okay. Meng thought to himself, the woman's voice on the phone just now was clearly not Li Ruobing. You're truly impressive, Mr. Wu. Wu Chen drove off in his Ferrari and said, I'm on my way now, don't cry. Tell me what happened. Mu Qiangqian said, My parents want to send me abroad for study. Wu Chen asked, You're crying like this just because of this? Mu Qiangqian replied, I don't want to go abroad. There is no one who can help me there. You come back quickly. Sob. Wu Chen said, In that case, there's a spare key on the side of the electrical meter box near the front door. You go in and wait for me to come back. Not long after Mu Qiangqian entered the house, Su Qingying arrived and said to herself, I must celebrate today's success with my husband. She suddenly realized and said, I forgot that I don't have the key to his house, her security said. Miss, the lock can be pried open. You can enter first, and we'll arrange for someone to come and repair it. Su Qingying said, That works too. Then please do it. The security then lockpicked the door and managed to open it in 30 minutes. Suddenly, Mu Qiangqian and Su Qingying saw each other and were shocked. Mu Qiangqian asked, Miss Su? Su Qingying said, Miss Mu, how come you're at Wu Chen's house? Is Wu Chen not at home? Mu Qiangqian replied, No, he's not here. He asked me to wait for him, so I used the spare key. But Miss Su, how come you are here? Su Qingying said, I am friends with him. She let her security go away. Mu Qiangqian said, Oh, I see. Since we're all friends, then Miss Su, please come in. Su Qingying took off her sandals and asked, Miss Mu, when did you come here? Mu Changqian thought to herself, changing the slippers so skillfully and also the tone and emphasis of asking me questions. It's also very strange. Something's not right between Su Qingying and Wu Chen. Su Qingying said, Miss Mu. Mu Changqian said, Oh, I just arrived a few minutes ago. Su Qingying said, I see. By the way, Miss Mu, did Wu Chen tell you when he's coming back? Mu Changqian replied, He didn't, but I think he will be arriving soon. Su Qingying said, Don't just stand there, please take a seat. I'll go put my things down first. Mu Changqian grabbed a chair and sat down. Mu Changqian thought to herself, Huh? How is it that she asked me to sit and I obediently just sat down? That's not right, that's not right. The key point is that her tone is as if she is the owner of this house. Could it be that they? 2 minutes later, Su Qingying asked, Miss Mu, would you like something to drink? I think in the fridge there might only be. Mu Changqian thought to herself, Their things are even placed together. It seems like they have been living together for a while. She asked, Miss Su, are you in an intimate relationship with Wu Chen? Su Qingying responded, How about you? Mu Changqian thought, Wow, you neither admit nor deny it, but instead you come back and question me like that. Isn't it equal to admitting it? The First Lady of Donghai, widely recognized as the most beautiful woman in Donghai, is Wu Chen's woman? Su Qingying thought to herself, She seems so shocked. Well, it looks like she's not a threat at all. She asked, Tell me, when did you and Wu Chen? Mu Changqian replied, When? Just a few days ago. Su Qingying said, A few days ago? Oh, earlier than me. Then I should call you big sister, right? Mu Changqian stammered. Huh? What big sister? Huh? Su Qingying said, Anyway, let's get along well with each other. A few hours later at night, Wu Chen said, Damn it, traffic jam at this time? Are you kidding me? It's already this late. 2 hours later, Wu Chen arrived and opened the door. Suddenly, he smelled something good and thought to himself, The aroma of food? Mu Changqian can cook too? Wu Chen came in and was shocked. Su Qingying said, It's hot. Little sister, be careful and slow down. Mu Changqian exclaimed, Wu Chen, you're back. Su Qingying said, Husband, you came back just in time. You can go wash your hands and eat dinner directly. Mu Changqian asked, Wait a minute, weren't you calling me big sister just now? How come it's changed to little sister again? Wu Chen said, Because you are younger. Mu Changqian asked, Small? Which part of me is small? She puffed out her chest. Mu Changqian said, Let's talk about the important matter. Why did she call you husband? When did you get together with Miss Su? Wu Chen responded, What do you mean by get together? You are speaking in such a derogatory way. Mu Changqian pleaded, Please, big brother, just tell me, please. Su Qingying said, Husband, sister, you guys can talk later. Go wash your hands quickly. It's time to eat. Mu Changqian said, Okay, I know. She thought to herself, Huh? How did I just automatically become a younger sister again? Su Qingying said, Husband, eat more. Wu Chen asked, There weren't any major mistakes in the board meeting, right? Although I already know the result, I am still curious as to how it went. Su Qingying said, It is exactly as my husband predicted. It can be said that it was spot on without any difference. Wu Chen said, It's good that it went well. Mu Changqian, frustrated while watching them talk, suddenly said, Wu Chen, I don't care about you two showing affection in front of me, but are you really not going to tell me? Wu Chen said, Didn't Qingying already tell you? If not, then why don't you take a guess? Mu Changqian said, Okay, so you're not going to tell me, huh? Well, then I won't go home today. Wu Chen said, Then don't go back. There's an extra room in the house. Mu Changqian asked, What about Miss Su then? Su Qingying said, I don't go back either. Mu Changqian thought to herself with a plan. That's what you said, then don't blame me later. A few hours later, when it was time to sleep, Su Qingying said, Miss Mu, you can sleep over there for now? We have to wake up early tomorrow to go to the office. Let's call it a day and get some rest. Mu Changqian said, Oh, okay. Suddenly, Mu Changqian passed them, took off her slippers, and sat on the bed saying, I want to sleep here. She thought to herself, What can you do to me? Suddenly, she was shocked after looking at Su Qingying's bum, and she sat on the bed saying, Husband, I am fine with it. Wu Chen said, Then we can just sleep here together. Luckily, my bed is big enough for 3 people. Mu Changqian was confused and said, Huh? The next day, Mu Changqian, Wu Chen, and Su Qingying slept in the same bed. Mu Changqian said, I was so tired last night, let me sleep for a bit more. Suddenly, Wu Chen talked to Li Ruobing on the phone and she said, come to the company quickly. Wu Chen asked, what happened? Li Ruobing said, my dad is coming to the company. Wu Chen said while Su Qingying hugged him, what's the rush? Li Ruobing said, hurry up and come. If we mess up this time, all our previous efforts will be wasted. Wu Chen said, all right, I will be there soon. A few minutes later, Li Ruobing exclaimed, it's already been 40 minutes since you said, I will be there soon. You're really quick, dear Mr. Wu. Help me zip it up. They both walked together, holding hands, and she said, okay, let's go. A few moments later, Li Ruotai said to Wu Chen, brother-in-law, why did you just come now? Father has been waiting for you guys, Li Ruobing interjected. Dad, why did you suddenly come without giving me a call? It was Li family head's eldest son, the father of Li Ruobing and Li Ruotai, the future head of the Li family. Li family head's eldest son responded, a call? So that you can prepare yourself to face me? Li Ruobing exclaimed, Dad! What's with the sudden visit? The time has not come yet. Leave me be. Li family head's eldest son retorted, you can't even take care of your little brother. Now this, and you won't even let me be here at Donghai. Li Ruotai interjected, Dad, sis! Don't start fighting every time you meet each other. Li Ruobing thought to herself, right, this is not the time to argue. She suddenly grabbed Wu Chen's hand and said, Dad! Let me officially introduce you to my boyfriend Wu Chen. Darling, this is my dad. You can call him Uncle for now. You can change it once we get married. Wu Chen greeted, Uncle, it's our first meeting. Nice to meet you. Li Ruobing thought to herself, Dad looks reserved. What's going on? Li Ruotai muttered to himself, sorry sis. I really can't help you with this. Li family head's eldest son appeared even scarier than when he first arrived at Donghai. He shouted, are you teaming up with your sister to fool me? Li Ruotai said, Dad, trust me, I've really found all that I could. The kindergarten that Wu Chen studied at when he was young, even his birth records in the district hospital, it's all here. Li family head's eldest son insisted, I won't trust a single word of this information. He's not Wu Chen. The real Wu Chen is probably dead, and he's using Wu Chen's identity. That's why, no matter how you investigate, there's nothing. Li Ruotai argued, Dad, there's no way. We ate together, and I've had people run a DNA test using his used chopsticks with his parents. It's really him. Li family head's eldest son concluded. Then there's only one possibility. It's one of Ruobing's awful gimmicks again, like all the others. They're all fake. All the things that Wu Chen has done over these days in Donghai were planned in advance by your sister. He thought to himself, I'll break through all of your lies, he continued. Xiao Wu, have a seat. I guess you've just graduated. Li Ruobing and Li Ruotai thought to themselves, Dad's tone and expression changed. What game is he playing? Wu Chen responded, Yep, I'm currently working at Ruobing's company. Li family head's eldest son asked, What did you major in at university, and what's your plan moving forward? Wu Chen replied, Computer science, the IT aspect. For now, I'm thinking of getting Ruobing's company listed first. Li family head's eldest son chuckled, Ha ha, you're an ambitious kid. Right, do you have any hobbies? He thought to himself, his answer is the same as what we could find. Is this a setup? Let's change the direction a bit. Wu Chen listed, yeah, loads. Calligraphy, art, music, kickboxing, cars. Li Ruobing thought to herself, this is the first time Dad has been so detailed. One wrong move from Wu Chen now, and it'll be over. Wu Chen added, and guns. Li family head's eldest son inquired, Oh, guns? You know guns? Li Ruobing thought anxiously, oh no. There's no way Wu Chen would be able to come in contact with guns with that kind of family background. How could he make such a dumb mistake? Wu Chen explained, yes, boys are usually interested in guns when they're young. After growing up, I learned more about the basics of guns through the internet, and I was even able to find some gun blueprints while studying computer science, though I haven't actually touched a real gun before. During my sophomore year, I made myself a gun model, but it's not made out of metal. I crafted the trigger with wood, and I think I got all the components correct. I think I'm quite knowledgeable about guns myself. Li Ruobing sighed in relief. Gosh, at least he managed. What is this even? Is he trying to get himself in trouble intentionally? Li family head's eldest son asked Li Ruotai, do you have a gun on you? Li Ruotai responded in surprise, huh? Dad? Yeah. Li family head's eldest son instructed, then pass it to Xiao Wu. Li Ruotai took out his gun and handed it to Wu Chen, saying, "Oh, okay, brother-in-law here." Li family head's eldest son said, "You know this gun, Xiao Wu? Tell me about it." Wu Chen explained, "Type 94. Designed to replace the Type 54, it was manufactured in the 94. It's used by both police and military. The police version has a more block rotating barrel, while the military one leans towards half blowback rotation with smaller recoil and greater precision." Li Rubing thought to herself, "What is Wu Chen doing? Does he know Dad was in the army and likes guns? Is he trying to create an impression that he's a gun enthusiast to bond with my dad? No, that's not like Wu Chen. What is he trying to accomplish?" Wu Chen continued, "Considering the weight, my guess is there are probably 6 bullets in this." Li Rubing thought to herself, "Someone who can accurately guess the number of bullets just by weight must have had significant contact with guns. Is Wu Chen trying to expose himself?" Li family head's eldest son thought to himself, "This kid just exposed himself. It means he's been lying all along. Yeah, he's suspicious. But wait, maybe proving he's suspicious is his plan. He needs to be extraordinary to be Rubing's boyfriend. He needs to be remarkable to disrupt Donghai. So, this actually proves his relationship with Rubing is real. But now, there's a new problem. A random man with potential connections to special forces is dating Rubing. What is his objective?" Aloud, he said, "You're quite talented, Xiao Wu." Wu Chen responded, "It's all right. If not, I wouldn't have fallen for Rubing at first sight, would I?" "Well then, uncle, why don't we have a private talk?" Li Rubing interjected. "Private talk? What conversation do you need to have that excludes me?" Li family head's eldest son instructed, "Rubing, take your brother out with you." Li Rubing insisted, "I'm not leaving. What kind of secret conversation is this that I can't listen to?" Li family head's eldest son clarified, "It's Xiao Wu here who wants a private talk. Why are you getting worked up?" Wu Chen held her hand tightly and said, "Rubing, uncle has to take your feelings into consideration while you're here, right? It'll be hard for us to discuss certain matters." Li Rubing stood up and relented, "All right, darling, I'll listen to you." She walked away, and Li Ruotai said, Dad, brother-in-law, you can talk. I'll go out with Sis." Outside, Li Rubing asked Tai, "Do you have surveillance in that room?" Li Ruotai confirmed. Yes." Li Ruobing suggested, "Let's go. We'll watch the surveillance." Li family head's eldest son remarked,
Rubing really does listen to you?"
Wu Chen said, "She and I have always been reasonable." He stood up and took out a bottle, breaking it to reveal a hidden camera. Meanwhile, in the surveillance room, Li Rubing exclaimed, "Tai, what's wrong with your cameras?" Li Ruotai responded, "Sis, it might be the cheap ones." "Don't worry, I have a few more." Wu Chen located another camera hidden on the back wall, then one near the fruit on the table, and another on the floor. Wu Chen said, "All right, uncle, now we can talk." Li family head's eldest son asked directly, "Who are you? Why did you appear at my daughter's side?" He pointed his water gun at Wu Chen's head. In the surveillance room, Li Ruobing urgently said, "Tai, there were video streams showing them just now." "Why aren't there any now?" Li Ruotai replied, "Sis, I have no idea." Wu Chen remarked, "You guys really are from the same family. Both Ruobing and Tai have pointed guns at me like this before." Wu Chen continued, "But uncle, I bet there's no ammo in the gun." Li family head's eldest son lowered the gun and said, "You have quite the courage, young man." He emptied the bullets and added, "Let's stop beating around the bush. What's your purpose in being in a relationship with my daughter?" Wu Chen responded calmly, "I like your daughter and I want to have kids with her. Is there anything wrong with that, uncle?" Li family head's eldest son thought to himself, "He's saying such disrespectful words right in front of me, but that means he's not afraid of me." Aloud, he demanded, "Fine, let's stop circling around. Get to the point." Wu Chen continued, "Uncle, I don't think you really care about Rubing. You only care about the well-being of the family. You know what kind of person Ding Ruilong is, yet you're arranging for Rubing to marry him. Aren't you afraid that Rubing might just shoot him one day out of anger?" Li family head's eldest son slammed the table and exclaimed, "Young man, are you lecturing me?" In the surveillance room, Li Rubing paced anxiously and said, "This isn't right. I need to know what Wu Chen and father are talking about. Come on, Tai, let's go to the room behind that room. This must be behind the sofa they're sitting on. Damn it! Why can't I hear anything?" Li Ruotai said, "Sis, I used the best soundproofing material when I renovated. Inside, Wu Chen said, Uncle, what I mean is that Ding Rulong is a very stubborn person who can't control his emotions. I don't think he'll live long, nor will the Ding family. Uncle, do you remember Dong Yuan Tao? Li family head's eldest son replied, a kid from another family who drowned and died 10 years ago. Why bring him up all of a sudden? He didn't drown. He was murdered, Wu Chen asserted. Li family head's eldest son fell silent. Impossible. The Dong family's status is lower than the Ding family's. If it was murder, they would have found out. Besides, why would the Ding family target a high school kid? There's no proof and it doesn't make sense. Uncle, I'm not talking about the Ding family. I'm talking about Ding Rulong, Wu Chen clarified. The motive lies with a woman named He Shikin. Many guys from wealthy families pursued her, but she rejected them all. She was close with Dong Yuan Tao because of homework, and then he died. Ding Rulong took her out and killed Dong Yuan Tao right in front of her. She's with him out of fear. I've been in contact with her, and she hates Ding Rulong. I'm confident she'll testify. Li family head's eldest son demanded. What are you trying to do? Why are you so agitated, Uncle? Wu Chen asked calmly. I'm sure you know what I'm trying to do. Li family head's eldest son realized to himself. The Dong family has been rising in recent years. If this gets out, it could start a messy war among the big families. The Li and Ding families are already allies. The Lai family won't sit idly by if something happens to the Ding family. Wu Chen continued. Among the Ding, Sun, Wei, and Dong families, the Sun family is the Li family's biggest ally. Now that Rulbing isn't married into the Ding family yet, the alliance with them isn't set in stone, correct? Li family head's eldest son suddenly understood. This kid was sent here by another family to disrupt the alliance between the Li and Ding families. Outside, Li Rulbing said, I'll drill a hole. If the walls are thinner, I might be able to listen in, right? Li Ruotai cautioned. Sis, even with good soundproofing, they'll notice the noise and vibrations from your drilling. Li Rulbing insisted. Then think of something. I need to know what they're talking about. Li Ruotai admitted. Sis, I really can't. Wu Chen interjected. Uncle, it's not what you think. I'm considering Rulbing and the family. The Dong family isn't a bad option, right? Dong Yuan Tao's cousin, Dong Yakyu, just graduated from university. I think she'd be a good match for Tai. Li family head's eldest son dismissed it. You have quite the sense of humor, young man. Do you think a marriage between two big families is that simple? The Li and Dong families lack the most basic trust, let alone marriage, Wu Chen proposed. Uncle, if you agree, I'll take action immediately. I believe we'll have results within a week. Li family head's eldest son thought to himself, this kid isn't joking. Marriage with the Dong family? Not now, not under these circumstances. He replied, wait, not now. First, tell me your objective. Wu Chen stated plainly, I want Ding Rulong to die. Because your daughter is very attractive, and Ding Rulong had the nerve to try and take my woman. If I don't act, he'll kill me. One of us will die. It's either him or me, and there's no stopping it. Ding Rulong must die. Li family head's eldest son questioned, do you have dirt on the Wei family? Wu Chen answered, yes. If uncle doesn't come to Donghai and disturb me and Rulbing for half a year, then I'll tell you. Li family head's eldest son agreed. Deal! 2 hours later, Li Rulbing muttered to herself, this shovel is small, so it shouldn't make much noise. I swear I'll make that wall thinner. Li Ruotai urgently interrupted. Sis! Sis! Stop digging! Father and brother-in-law are coming out, Li Rulbing exclaimed. Ah! Let's go. A few moments later, Li Rulbing asked Wu Chen, darling, are you finished? Wu Chen nodded. Yup. He then turned to Li family head's eldest son and asked, Uncle, what are your plans now? Li family head's eldest son replied, you and Rulbing can make your own plans. I'm heading back. He boarded the helicopter. Li Ruotai remarked, Father really just left. Li Rulbing turned to Wu Chen. What did you tell my father? Why did he leave so easily? Tell me, Wu Chen teased. Are you trying to act cute? Li Rulbing pleaded. Sweetie, tell me. Tell me. Li Ruotai interjected. Sis, brother-in-law, you two be yourselves. I'm out. Li Rulbing persisted. If you tell me, I might consider some things. Wu Chen smirked. Really? But I haven't been feeling well lately. Qing Ying has been clingy, and I'm tired. Li Rulbing pushed Wu Chen and scolded. You're shameless? Wu Chen grabbed her hand and retorted. Am I? Then aren't you shameless for acting like that too? Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.